Welcome back to another top 5 list. We're going to do top 5 female wrestlers of all time. This is going to have a lot of good content in here that we're going to go over, but we can't do that yet because first I got to say, if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. We drop daily wrestling content. Right above me, here's a WWE shop link. Make sure you click it. It's only an extra click. It helps support this podcast and the WWE shop, and there is nothing wrong with that. Third man, welcome back.
Glad to be back. I was on a little bit of a hiatus. A lot of life stuff going on, but blessed by the best and ready to get back into it.
Well, we're going to get into the top 5, but real quick, I got a special cameo because we didn't see MVP last week on the top 5 cruiserweights, but we're going to see him right now. He's on an airplane, and I know that it's going to be loud, but he wanted to say some stuff to the viewers and stuff. So welcome, MVP.
Hey, what's up, guys? What's going on?
Calling in from an airplane. Where are you at?
I'm just literally still on the airplane. We're in San Francisco. Third man, good to see you. Good to see you.
Glad to be back, man. Glad to be back. That's what I'm talking about. The MVP. That guy is dedicated. On the plane.
We tried to make it work, but we had multiple plane delays. Supposed to land maybe an hour ago.
Well, I do got to say, great minds think alike. Look at the hats.
Oh,
but yeah, we look forward to you coming back next week, MVP. We're going to break down the top 5 female wrestlers of all time tonight. So,
I had a good list ready.
Give me one. Give me one on your list right now. Who's your favorite female wrestler of all time?
I mean, I wouldn't say favorite, but who I think is the best. So I really thought about Trish Stratus, but at the end of the day, I had to go with Charlotte Flair. I mean, she's booked to win like all those title reigns, but at the end of the day, when she's not in the title scene, when she's not part of the title scene, it just doesn't seem right. So, and then you just gotta plug her back in.
Yeah. By the way, do you like my tribal chief necklace or what?
Nice. I'm in the works of getting one myself.
There you go. Well, I'll let you deboard your airplane, and we're gonna dig into this top 5 female wrestlers of all time.
Okay, good to come on really quick, guys. There's man holding it down. This week's in good hands. No problem.
Yes, sir.
All right, later, guys.
Out, man. Later.
All right, brother. Always good to hear from MVP. Let's get into it. I'm gonna go first. You went first last week. I'm gonna go first because it's a perfect segue. He mentioned Charlotte Flair. That's who my number 1 is. I got to go Charlotte Flair. I think the most accomplished women's wrestler that we've ever seen. Just like her daddy, she's multiple, over or multiple winning of the women's championship. She was the last Diva champion. And she also ended Asuka's undefeated streak at WrestleMania 34. So she has had a great career, one of the 4 horsewomen, and she's still doing it. She's still longevity and still in that title picture. It's awesome. So I got to go Charlotte Flair.
Can't go wrong with the queen, man. Love how she comes out with the robes, just like her daddy. And she's the epitome of she walks onto that stage and she looks like a superstar. She just does. She can do it all. Off the top rope, wrestle, submission holds, whatever you ask of her, she can do. And she can do it arguably better than anybody else, man or woman. So Charlotte Flair.
Her facial recognition, or like the facial that she does, like when she's selling something in the match, you believe that like she's frustrated, or when she lost at Mania a couple times, she just has that look like I'm coming back for this title. Like she sells it perfectly with her face. So yeah, got to go with the queen. So
and on the mic, just top notch on the mic. But I mean, she learned from the best. She learned from the Nature Boy. So not surprising at all.
Woo! All right.
That's right, baby. That's right. All right, so I'm gonna go with in no particular order. MVP is a great segue, like you said. He mentioned her Stratisfaction, man. Everybody wants to be stratified. Trish Stratus. Growing up, I think that was like every young boy's, every teenager's first crush, right? Canadian, um, and could go in the ring. You know, I know during those times it was rough watching a lot of these women's matches. You know, a lot of gimmicky, a lot of bra and panties, you know, pig
Yeah.
slot match and stuff like that. But Trish just really epitomized, you know, hard work. She worked on her craft. You can see as you continue to watch her, she was getting better in the ring and she wanted to learn. And she was just absolutely beautiful, you know, absolutely beautiful. Had some kind of crazy stories, crazy gimmicks going on with Vince McMahon, but it's Vince McMahon, right?
Vince McMahon.
It's Vince McMahon.
Yep.
And, you know, she went away for a while, had a family, and then she came back, you know, during this women's revolution, and she looked arguably better than ever. Didn't miss a step in the ring. She just had this run with who did she have the run with just recently?
Becky, right?
With Becky, right?
With
And
Zoe Stark in her corner.
with Zoe Stark in her corner, and you know, she even wore the mask, you know, like the Undertaker. He was walking around with the mask, so very versatile. I mean, Trish Stratus, she has to be, I think, on anybody's top five. Just beautiful, great to watch, and hasn't lost a step, even, you know, 15, 20 years later.
Yeah, and you know, we picked a couple of really good in-ring technicians, but now we got to go with arguably one of the most dominant forces we've ever seen. The ninth wonder of the world, China, is going to be my number two. What other female wrestler do you know that's won the Intercontinental Championship? That
Mhm.
basically, like, when she was okay, you have women that like are escorts for the wrestlers, right? Or what's the word I'm looking for? Not escort, but what's the word?
Valet.
Valet. Yes,
Mhm.
valet. She was scarier than Triple H. Like, if
Yep.
I'm facing Triple H, I'm more scared of what's out of the ring. Like, I'd rather fight you. Don't throw me out of here. She's gonna kill me. Like, see what she did with Terry Runnels when he fought Goldust. She was like a rag doll in her arms, you know. But she was versatile too in her character because I mean, then she was mommy, you know, for Latino Heat, the original mommy.
Yep.
For Dominic Mysterio's dad, you know, it was. But you
The
know, I
first
mean,
women to enter the Royal Rumble, right? First woman to enter the Royal Rumble.
she did, and I mean, she was part of DX too, where dude, you just see her behind Shawn and Triple H, and she looks like the dominant force of that faction. She was very good, and she was good in the ring. She put on some good matches. So, got to give China some love. Hopefully, she'll. Did she go to the Hall of Fame already or no?
I don't know if they haven't given it to her yet. I don't think,
Well, she
unless she
deserves it.
just yeah, she should have been in. She should have been in before while she was still alive. To be perfectly
Yeah,
honest, I mean, you know, for Andre the Giant to be called the eighth wonder of the world, and then for China to be the ninth wonder of the world, I mean, just, just absolutely, you know, she was an attraction. You know, she walks in, and you know, like, whoa, who is that? You know,
yeah,
and I remember, I remember winning the Intercontinental Championship. She was a beautiful woman. I remember her doing Playboy, right? I remember my dad going to those old newspaper stands that they had out here in Chicago, right? And she was very stunning and very beautiful in that magazine, and really what really should be remembered for all the great things that she did, in the ring. She had some life happens, right? And but China definitely needs to be always remembered as one of the best women to ever do it, and a true trailblazer for a lot of the women that are doing it today.
yeah. No, for sure.
Nice pick there. That's a nice pick. You kind of stole that one from me, Lucky, because she was on my list too. She was
Yeah,
on my list too. So I'm gonna go next with probably my favorite women's wrestler of all time, favorite diva of all time. Love her to this day. She's still rocking it in TNA, and that's gonna be Hardcore Country, Mickey James.
Mickey
Just
James.
phenomenal athlete. I remember when she burst onto the scene and she had that stalker gimmick with Trish Stratus, and that just for me, that just drew me in, right? Beautiful, a little bit crazy, great in the ring, looked awesome in her ring gear, beautiful in her ring gear, multiple time women's champion, inaugural Royal Rumble for the women, she was in it, multiple time TNA champion, arguably doing the best work that she's arguably ever done in TNA. And she came back and had another run, with WWE where she was awesome. Um, just a great character. Has changed her character multiple times in the ring. Um, Technician, she was one of the ones. It was during that time where the women weren't really wrestling that much, and she was like a real wrestler, right? Like she could go in the ring, and to this day, 15, 20 years later, can still hang. So Mickie James, number 2 for me.
Not bad. My number 3, third generation superstar, female wrestler, daughter of Jim the Anvil Neidhart. We got to show some love to Natalya for her longevity alone.
100%.
And by the way, she was trained in the Hart Dungeon with the likes of, Brian Pillman and Bret Hart. She's husband to Tyson Kidd, which is awesome. She also broke the mold and defeated Lacey Evans in the first ever women's match in Saudi Arabia at Crown Jewel. So she's a trailblazer. She's been doing it for so long, and she's a workhorse. She's only won a couple of championships. She should be winning so many more than that just because she's been there, that you'd think she'd have it. But she works hard. She puts over talent. She did win the tag team championships a couple times. But other than that, I think she deserves more championships than she's won. And she's just very good in the ring. She's awesome. And she's also a big supporter of the Susan Komen Foundation for breast cancer. Yep. So she does a lot of work for them outside the ring, and can't say enough good things about her.
You mentioned the Hart Family Dungeon. I believe she was the last graduate, right? The last and final graduate of the Hart Family Dungeon. And, we've all heard the stories of that family dungeon, right? Stu Hart coming in and folding you like a pretzel, right?
Yeah.
And how hot and sticky it was. So, for her to be a graduate of that school just shows what a true competitor that she is. And I agree with you. I think she is probably the most underrated female wrestler, arguably, of all time. She actually works with a lot of the female wrestlers that come into developmental, right? When they work their way into the main roster. She's actually, she has a ring in her house that WWE sent to her house. And men and women go to her house to work with her and her husband, Tyson Kidd, to get working. And, great heel. I know she loves to be a baby face, but I think she's just a naturally just better heel. People love to hate her. But Natalya Neidhart, man, I don't think you can keep her off any list, to be perfectly honest. And that's a great pick. Part of the best there is, the best there was, and best there ever will be. So she's up there, 100%.
She's got his sharpshooter too, from Uncle Brett there. So she learned a lot from him too. But yeah, no, for sure. So excited to see who your number 3 is.
Okay. So my number three, I'm sticking with the WWE, newer era, and we're gonna go with the man, the Irish lash kicker, Becky Lynch. Becky, started off her career out in Ireland, kind of traveled throughout the world before she made her debut in WWE, right? NXT. And she's just kind of just grown. She's actually grown on me because I really wasn't a huge fan of Becky, honestly. When she first started, I thought she was a little stale. I really didn't understand like what her character was. But I think she just took it to the next level when Nia Jax broke her nose during that SmackDown Raw Survivor Series, and she became the man. And I think it just gave her the confidence to just, be herself, right, and be different. Multiple time women's champion, part of the first women to ever headline WrestleMania. She actually won that match at WrestleMania, so that's something that nobody can ever take away from her. She is dependable. She always stays healthy. I don't think I've ever seen her injured. I remember she had to give the championship to Asuka when she became pregnant with Seth Rollins. I think that's the only time that we really haven't seen her on TV. So, Becky Lynch, the man, I think she's undeniable. I think she deserves to be on this top 5 list without a shadow of a doubt. And she's still going. I think she has contract issues going on right now. That's a really big thing. I think her contract ends in a few days. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what
As
happens
of
with that.
this morning, she's a free agent.
Wow.
So a lot of rumors that she could switch brands. I don't think that there's any reason for her to leave WWE. She's been given a lot of time to grow there and win championships and become a bigger than life superstar. That there's no reason for her to go anywhere else. So I think that she'll take some time off with her family, with Seth and the baby, and she'll come back. Maybe SummerSlam or Rumble. Take some time off, like a good long vacation. She earned it. She's definitely earned it. So
Absolutely, 100%.
Another female superstar that's earned a lot of things in her career, we got to go Alundra Blaze. Spent a lot of time, started in the Vern Gagne American Wrestling Association. Spent some time in Japan, where she brought that style over to WWF when she came back, I think in 1993 or something like that. Faced Bull Nakano, I think at WrestleMania 10, right? She was just very good, and then
might have been a little bit earlier, but yeah, her and Bill Nakano was just
great.
That was just great feud, 100%.
Yeah, and I mean, she brought the Japan style with her back to America, so she brought Bull Nakano. She went toe and toe with her in their own style. But then we get to when she becomes Medusa in WCW. She brings the WWF Women's Championship and throws that thing in the garbage. And she said, I'm here.
Huge moment.
Yeah. It's one of the biggest moments, arguably, in the Monday Night Wars. Because, you could steal people. You brought their championship and threw it in the garbage. That speaks volumes.
Oh, yeah.
And she's a Hall of Famer. She earned it, and she's had a great career. She was actually, fun fact, part of Paul Heyman's Dangerous Alliance, close allies with Rick Rude back in WCW, too.
The Ravishing One. Yes.
But she's great career. Alundra Blaze deserves to be in the top 5.
Yeah, fun fact. It's funny that you mentioned her. I remember I've seen her at when it was the Rosemont Horizon. We went for a WWF event, and we were sitting close enough to where I was able to put my hands out when they come down the aisleway. And I just remember as a kid, like she smacked my hand, and I felt like my hand was gonna like fall off. She hit it so damn hard, right? So it's kind of crazy that you mentioned her, and I remember that memory, right? Because it's like stuck and burnt in my mind. Just crazy athletic, very versatile. I think she was doing like the fisherman's suplex before it was like called the perfect plex, and WWE Hall of Famer and well deserved, man. That's a great pick, Alundra Blaze.
Yep, for sure. So on to you.
Well, on to you. All right. Well, I am gonna stick with another new era. Actually, one of my personal favorites right now. I know she hasn't done it for a ton of time, but I just think the way that she's been able to start off as a babyface character as the Hugger, and then now she's your role model, and now she's your current WWE Women's Champion. And I'm gonna go with the Hugger, Bayley. I think she still has a ton of time to do it. I think her character work, I think, is second to none. Her mic work is outstanding. I think that's what kind of separates a lot of the women, right? A lot of the women nowadays can go in the ring, but not many of them can work the stick. And I think that's what separates Bayley from a lot of the other women going on right now. She is, first Iron Woman match with Sasha Banks, who's another great talent as far as women's concerned. Started off as the Hugger, was the biggest baby face, kind of like a John Cena like, and then flipped the switch and became a heel and was probably one of the most, if not the most hated heel in wrestling, especially for women, for quite a long time. And I think that is what makes somebody special, is when they can be loved like no other as a babyface and then hated like no other as a heel. And Royal Rumble winner. I believe she is now holds the record for the longest time in a Rumble. So just her record speaks for herself. And one of my absolute favorites, Bailey. That's going to be my number 4.
She's one of the original 4 horsewomen. I mean,
Yep.
she's can't say enough good things. And I mean, she did change her whole character up, from the hugger to, and she made it work. She can adapt very well. Yep. And the damage control stuff was very well done too. And up until she left them, and I think she was hated from when she stopped being a hugger till like now.
Yep.
Like it's been that long. But I gotta go back old school. And the reason this one is in my top 5, she made it. Just the edginess of her era, the things that she was doing, like crazy stuff. I gotta go Lita. I gotta go Lita.
Great pick.
Now she's I think a 4-time women's champion. Okay. She wanted to retire with the championship, but she lost to one of your picks, Mickie James, at the Survivor Series. But I guess a couple things she's more famous for is the whole Kane pregnancy storyline and strained her and Matt Hardy's relationship. But I mean, the biggest thing is the thing that she did with Edge and Matt Hardy.
Oh, that was so crazy.
That brought really good television because it had a lot of realism in it. And Vince McMahon, for all the dirty shit he's done, that was smart to expose that, because that brought out, that feud was like, I have to see what's going to happen now. Like, they're going to kill each other on TV, because how do you separate that professionalism and what's going on in your life? But aside from those storylines, though, she was very good in the ring doing the Swanton Bomb and all this stuff. She was very good. And I mean, when she came back, she won the tag team championships with Becky Lynch. Looked like she didn't really miss a step. I mean, just a little bit of ring rust, but she could still go. And another Hall of Famer. She deserves to be in the Hall of Fame for sure for the career she's done. So I got to go Lita number 5.
She was on my list too. So that's another one that you done plucked from me. I think one of the first high flyers of women that we've seen, at least the ones that I remember, her doing the Hurricane Rana off to the top rope, that moonsault, right? I mean, just a very attractive, sexy woman when she had the thong. Just kind of, I remember her seeing, with the thongs coming out the pants, right? Just kind of being very edgy, something we haven't seen before in a long time. When she came in with the red hair with S.A. Rios, another cruiserweight, like we talked about in our last week. Just so cool to see. I remember that it was a feud with Stone Cold and Triple H, and Triple H was just laying it into Lita with the chair shots and the power bombs, and Eddie Guerrero. She was trying to do a Hurricane Rana out the outside on Eddie Guerrero, and Eddie Guerrero just absolutely demolished her and power bombed her on the outside. So such a tough woman, and absolutely deserves to be on your top 5. So great pick. Great pick.
When you mentioned Triple H hitting her with a chair, that was Triple H and Stone Cold. There's both of them. They were that tag team.
That was scary. And for people who haven't seen it, look it up on YouTube, right? Just put it in. I'm sure you put it in Google, Triple H, Stone Cold, Lita chair shots, and you'll see it. And it looks so crazy, like as if she was actually like really getting hurt in there. And just a testament to her the ring psychology and her able to sell. So
yeah,
absolutely excellent pick. I'm going to take it back old school. The last person I talked about Bailey. She takes a lot of her ring gear and the streamers and stuff from the Macho Man. And I'm going to go with a woman who's mostly known as a valet, but was a hell of a wrestler in her time. And that's Sensational Sherry Martel. A lot of people didn't know. I didn't know until I got a little bit older that she was if not one of the trailblazers for women's wrestling. she was way ahead of her time. I think if she was a wrestler nowadays, or even during Lita and Trish's time, she would be more highly regarded as a wrestler. But she was great. You know, she was one of the few women, if not the only woman that I remember, that would literally take bumps from the men. She would take
Yeah.
bumps from the men. And that was always really weird to me because all the other valets would never get hit, right? Would never get slammed, never get clotheslined. But as I did my research and started learning more about her, I was like, oh, well, that makes sense now because she was a hell of a wrestler, right?
Yeah.
And her characters from Queen Sherry to Sensational Sherry. Then when she went over to WCW, I mean, still taking bumps, and just one of the women who I think doesn't get enough love. So I wanted to give her the love on this episode. And for all the people who don't know who Sensational Sherry is, go on YouTube, go on WWE Network. Just the work that she's done, just top notch work, and true trailblazer for the women. Absolutely.
Yeah, great pick. Actually, one of my picks, Alundra Blaze, she had good feuds with Sherry Martel in the 80s. If you look it up, they had some good matches. So, yeah, no, she could definitely go in the ring, and I think that's a solid pick for sure. So, and again, if there's any that we missed, please drop them in the comments. We would love to see who you guys pick that maybe we left off our list that deserves to be there. We know that there's going to be some that are going to take, they're going to enter our top 5 later in their career, like the Bianca Belairs and the Tiffany Strattons. And I mean, there's a lot of great
Tony Storm, timeless Tony Storm. I mean, probably one of my favorite women going on right now is just that timeless gimmick is just, it's amazing. I love it.
It's a great gimmick. So, I mean, our top 5s are set for me and you, but I mean, there's going to be some people changing places in probably 10 years here. So
yes, 100%.
And again, if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. We drop daily wrestling content. Please make sure to check out the WWE shop link. Just an extra click, but it helps support this podcast, and we truly appreciate it. Next week, MVP should be back, and Alexis, is very good to have you back.
I'm happy to be back. I'm looking forward to being on the pod every week, staying consistent, and I'm ready to crush it. Ready to crush it with you guys. Triple Threat Podcast. Right. Listen up, y'all. Subscribe.
Yep, for sure. All right. Peace out, y'all. We'll see you on the next one.